time.
I need to watch my soap operas.
Says live. See top corner, we're live.
Says live.
So we're gonna give about 15 seconds, and then we'll do a countdown here, guys.
Yo, I think we should do the countdown. Remember?
I'm gonna click on it. I'm gonna click on it.
Oh yeah, I like this.
There we go. There we go.
Love it. We gotta get music on that. We gotta find out a way where we can put the music on.
All right, guys. I need to get a consensus. Do you guys like the countdown? Because
great, awesome.
Use our microphones, and we're back here behind the scenes. I'm jamming out to that beat.
That beat is kind of fire, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't mind it, but we gotta get going today because we got a lot of fire coming today. So let's get this going. There we go. You ready to go, brother?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stoop Life Podcast, the best sports podcast in motherfucking Pennsylvania. And guys, we got a fire episode with you today. I actually have a bottle of water here today that I plan to chug and drink all of it because there's going to be so much fire on this episode that I have to cool myself down with the water. Today's episode, guys, we're going to be talking about my favorite, UFC. Now, today, I got Paul on here with me talking about UFC, so you guys know it is an important fight card. You know, the last couple fight cards I've been doing by myself, solo, making them short. But this one, we got a rematch.
Probably my favorite right now.
Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. We're talking UFC 286. And we got a couple other fight cards that we want to break down on this. We got the fan favorite on this card, number 3 ranked Justin Gaethje, who is the underdog in this fight going up against Rafael Fiziev, this guy is from Azerbaijan. I don't know how to say Azerbaijan. Basically from Georgia over there near Russia. Dude's a beast. We got another fan favorite on there, Gunnar Nelson and Brian Barberena. And we got a couple other guys that I want to talk about here because this fight event's coming live from London. Main event starts at 5 p.m. on Saturday. I'm happy about that because I'll make the whole fight card.
It's a happy hour card. It's a happy hour card. I'll make it. It
is. I was actually looking at this fight card, man, and I'm like,
it's not bad.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the John Jones fight card was phenomenal. That pay-per-view was phenomenal.
Excellent, yeah.
Even coming into that pay-per-view, we're like, yo, when was the last actual good pay-per-view event from top to bottom? And honestly, I couldn't remember one.
We haven't got one this year. They just had them rolling.
Just that one. The first 2 of the year weren't that good. This fight card, though, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm actually very shocked at some of the competition they have on this because we all know we got the United Kingdom. We all know how I feel about the UK fighters. I'm not too thrilled on them. So for me to say I actually like it, listen, you already know I talk a lot of shit about the UK fighters just because I don't know. They bit me the wrong way going forward. Maybe Michael Bisping, I don't know.
Gotta say, Bisping did that, then man. Yeah, Bisping did that too.
I wasn't a big fan of Hardy either. Maybe because they were going up against guys that I really liked that were just way better than them, that were Americans or Brazilians or something. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Paul. There's probably like 5 or 6 UK fighters on this fight card that I actually really like, that I think people need to pay attention to. There's 2 of them in particular that are on this fight card. They're on the prelims that you guys are going to need to pay attention to because I think they have potential to be champions going forward.
I think I know one of them.
Maybe next year. There's actually 3 of them now that I'm looking at it. But,
I know one of them.
We're going to start talking about that. I'm not going to say they're going to be champion this year, guys. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they have potential. If they grow, if they work on their game, they're going to grow. Actually, let's talk about one of them before we get into the Usman fight. The first fight, the regular prelims, we got number 12 ranked in the flyweight division, Muhammad Mokaev. This guy's from the UK. He looks like a Russian, but he's from the UK. And, man, I'll tell you what, this guy is an absolute animal. The reason I wanted to talk about him is because he's 9-0 so far in his career. He's the minus 900 favorite against Rafael Fiziev, who's a Brazilian. But this guy is 22 years old. And what I love about him, you got to go watch this guy's fight interview. Reminds me of John Jones when he says, you remember when John Jones won his fight and then he gave out a game plan? He was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to be 23 years old, youngest champion. And like every single thing this guy said and every single time I've seen this guy fight, it's like when Conor McGregor came up and he just did what he said he was going to do. This guy is that guy. And the UK guy would just say something that believes in. I just think this guy's seen a lot more mature being a 22-year-old. I don't know what he's been through in his life, but hey, I'm telling you, a guy that you need to look forward to is Muhammad Mokaev, 9-0, minus 100 favorite at 22 years old. And the last time we seen a guy that high on the prelims, we already know what happened. First time they win. Yeah, they win. But, Paul, we got to talk about the main fight. Now, I got a lot of questions for this main fight because I'm seeing a lot of different things in the interviews. I'm seeing a lot of people say a lot of different things about Usman, particularly. So we got the champion, Leon Edwards, versus the number one contender in Kamaru Usman. Now, have you seen the odds for the fight yet?
No, I'm pretty sure Usman's been the favorite.
All right, so Kamaru Usman right now is the favorite at minus 260. Leon Edwards is at plus 196, which is slightly different than what it was the last fight, where Usman was minus 340. So he's still a favorite. Going to Leon Edwards' hometown, home country, he's the favorite.
Gets a discount.
So I got some numbers here that I like that I want to bring up, which I always do anyway.
Numbers guy. Real numbers guy.
We got the fight to go by decision. We got Kamaru Usman plus 115. Leon Edwards plus 460. By KO, Usman plus 310. Edwards plus 500.
Yep.
By submission, we got Usman plus 1,700. And we got Leon Edwards plus 2,000. So here are the numbers I like. I like the bet. For the fight to end by KO, either guy to knock him out, plus 160. For it to go to decision, either fight, you don't got to pick a winner. Minus 170. So, like, looking at these numbers, I think, man, it's like I don't really think Vegas knows what the hell is going to happen. I think they're really leaning on Kamaru Usman to win the fight. But, Paul, you already know.
Tell them the numbers. Tell them the numbers of champions who fought right away.
Exactly.
After.
I was looking it up. There was, in UFC history, there was 14 fights total where a former champion got an immediate rematch against the guy that beat them. That means that they both fought each other the very next fight.
Yes.
That Leon Edwards fought another guy, and then they fought. They fought back-to-back fights. In those fights, there's 14 of them. 13 of those fighters were favorite in those fights. Only 3 of them won. So the former champion is 3-11. That means the guy that is in Leon Edwards' position, the winner, is 11-3. Now, the only fighters that did that were all the way back. Randy Couture. The only guy that did it was Randy. Until the last 2 years, we had Davison Figueiredo did it against Brandon Moreno, and Amanda Nunes did it against Juliana Pena. So those numbers are crazy. Now, Paul, I want to take it even a step further. I don't know if I even told you this stat. In UFC history, when a champion got knocked out, clean knockout, not a doctor stoppage, a clean knockout, there was only 3 guys in UFC history that got the belt back
after being knocked out.
So Leon Edwards clean knocked out Usman. There's only 3 people in UFC history that got it back.
I got it right back.
It wasn't. None of them were immediate rematches. No, none of them. We have GSP did it against Matt
Sarah.
We have Stipe did it against DC. And then we had Cain Velasquez did it against Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cain.
The thing is, though, the numbers are leaning towards Leon Edwards very heavily.
Big time.
And like I'm sure we were in this situation before where we were looking at a guy like Kamaru Usman, like this dude's just a beast. Like going into this fight, he was one fight away from tying Anderson Silva's fight streak record, and then he lost. He was almost on verge of being in conversations with GSP, and then he got knocked out.
Goat conversation.
So look at these numbers: 3-11 in the rematch immediate. Only 3. I don't know how many actual fights they got clean knocked out and won. All I know is there was only 3 of them that did it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got GSP, Stipe, and Kane. I'm more like, which one are you going to say? Is he going to join that category, or is he going to go make it 3-12? I don't know what you feel about it, but I know what the consensus feels about it. 71% of people, according to BetMGM, are taking Kamaru Usman to win this fight.
I would.
So how do you feel about that?
I'm not a numbers guy, but those are numbers, bro. That's my line. Streaks are meant to be broken, and we seen Amanda do it. So I think he's gonna keep up with the flow. Me personally, I think Kamaru is not gonna take this shit like he's gonna take it personal. So I think he is gonna get him out of here. I think in a fight like this, you're in his hometown, you're not getting a decision. You're not.
I don't know if I agree with that though, because
dude, I can't. He's a champion and he's beloved.
He ain't a Russian. You know, they kind of like Kamaru Usman's somebody that they might want to win because they can promote him, move him up in a weight class or some. Leon Edwards is a guy that like he's gonna have to defend the belt, and do they really want? I mean, to be honest, actually, now that I'm talking about it, it actually makes sense that Leon Edwards wins because then they could probably get Colby Covington to fight him. And
I was gonna say they're probably gonna get Colby Covington to fight.
Yeah, right? I mean, but unless it's a decisive like dominate, and we're gonna talk about that going forward, what we think the game plans are gonna be, because that's how I think it's gonna be as well. So I have some more numbers here. So for those of you out there that think, oh, Leon Edwards won the fight, he kills him, right? Kind of reminds me of the Alex Pereira Izzy fight.
Okay.
Izzy was whooping his ass the whole fight.
Yeah, and he just landed it.
Izzy got too confident, went inside, and Alex said, "Thank you." That's the same thing that happened to Leon. Leon trained the whole time, and when the shot that he really wanted to hit him with opened up, he said, "Thank you," and he won. I'm not saying, hey, like you're a fighter, you got to fight till the end.
Yeah, you got to fight to the end. I was about to say that you have to still fight to the end.
Yeah, so this is what I want to bring up for you guys, though. There's a lot. Anything can happen in the ring. Anything.
Absolutely.
You get knocked out like that. We've seen it. We're shocked by it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the fight, guys, Kamaru Usman outstruck him total in the fight, 189 to 64. He killed him. He had 5 takedowns to 1.
Yeah.
Leon Edwards actually took him down. Going into the fight, Kamaru Usman was at 100% takedown defense. Leon Edwards knocked that down to 97.1. But I want to dig in further with the strikes, because I really don't like. I'm listening to these interviews. Have you seen how Kamaru Usman's like, how did you watch that fight and think you are a better mixed martial artist than me? And I agree with Kamaru, because I watched the whole fight. I watched both their fights, and Leon Edwards is nowhere close to as good at MMA as Kamaru Usman.
Yes.
But Kamaru Usman learned that lesson real hard. You can't fucking let yourself off guard. Someone's going to knock you out. And that's what happened. So let me break it down even further, Paul. This is crazy. The fact that Kamaru Usman lost this fight is absolutely crazy.
It is crazy.
Round 1, he outstruck him 36-17.
Yeah.
In round 2, 47-21. Round 3, 38-6.
Oh my God, 38-6.
Round 4, championship rounds, 54-9. Kamaru Usman could have sat in the corner and done nothing. He won the fight.
He won the fight, yeah.
He tried to get that knockout, and he let himself off guard by trying to get it. In the 5th round, he outstruck him still, 14-10, which is crazy. So he outstruck him 3 times of what he did. Same exact thing went in the first fight. He outstruck him 3 times as many times in the 3-round fight. So what do you think is going to be different in this fight, if anything, for either guy?
Well, Kamaru's gonna be a little bit more aware of that high kick. He said it on the Pivot podcast that he threw it 100 times in that fight. He threw the same. He's seen that kick twice around. He was like, it's just that one was just harder. He said I seen it. He was like, it's foot block boom. It was just harder.
Yeah, even Usman said it. Hey, what are you gonna do? It was
you know what I mean? He just got hit.
It should never happen at all. But
it shouldn't have. He was taking him soul for 4 rounds straight. He was
when you're whooping someone's ass like that, I kind of understand that he let his off guard because he's like, this dude can't hurt me.
Yeah.
And hey, like what happened? He fucking hurt you.
He hurt you. He hit the button. He hit that one button. Yeah. He dropped.
I mean, like, the only question I have here is this. Kamaru Usman's 35 years old. Never been knocked out. We're going to submit it before. He's never knocked out. I don't – we talked about this before. I can't remember what fighter it was that you're fighting a guy that previously knocked you out. How are you going to respond? Listen, I've never been in that situation, but I'm pretty sure, like, you're that elite. It either goes one way or the other. You either really don't care or it really fucks you up. And I can't tell right now.
He never took anything away from Leon, so I think this is why I think he's focused on it. Like, he never said it was a lucky shot. He was just like, he hit me with a good shot.
Right. Yeah,
he said he was just like, hey, he was like, there's nothing I can do. He hit me with a good shot. While everybody else is saying, oh, lucky cut, lucky kick, he's like, nah, he landed on me. I think he's focused. That's why when I was talking to you earlier this week about it, I think Kamaru's going to go in there with a different mentality to the point where he's like, I can't let this guy breathe. I think he's gonna try to punish him as early and as much as he can, because I think with Leon he kind of took the foot off the gas some rounds. I think this time he's not. He knows. He said I was a meme, bro. Like, he laughed. He's like, I was a fucking meme. He was like, minutes later, I was a meme. He was like, what hurt me the most, and this is why I think right here, he said, my daughter seen those memes.
Yeah.
I turned the corner and my daughter was in tears, he said.
I seen Matt Holloway say stuff like that, and he still lost. I don't know. I don't know. I see what you're saying, though. But, like, Kamaru Usman's the type of guy where, like, he's just not very good on talking. Like, him talking, he just sounds like just – no. You know what I mean?
Trash talker. Let's just say that. He's not a good trash talker. He's just very upfront. You know what I mean? He's one of those – he's a smart guy. Very intelligent guy. So when he speaks, he doesn't like to – he's not a shit talker. Only with Colby, and that was whack. But he's not really a shit talker. But I do like that he said, listen, he wasn't lucky. He caught me with a good shot. He threw it many times that fight. That one hurt the most.
Did you see what him and Leon went at today? And Kamaru Usman was like, what's your game plan to stop me from doing what I did the last 2 fights? And he was like, what's your game plan from stopping me kicking you in the face? He was like, I'm going to block. I fucked up. And, like, everyone's talking about Kamaru Usman's mindset. And I'm, like, watching these, and I'm like, what about Leon?
You have to think about this. He's cocky right now.
Like, I'm like, man, like, no one's paying attention to how Leon's talking. And I'm like, listen, like, you beat him. Like, I get you're trying to get that in his head and ingrain that in his head. But, like, your response to it was, like, basically nothing. Like, Leon Edwards is a very beatable opponent. Like, look at his fight. Look at his fights here, guys. Like,
just understand this about Leon. Understand this about Leon. He's like that piece of metal that doesn't break. He doesn't bend. He could take an ass whooping and still prevail. Nate knocked him down twice.
Nate should have knocked him out if he didn't give him the finger.
You know what I mean? He's a tough fighter. And that's what Leon was like that in the first fight against Usman too. Like, he was giving him hell because Leon couldn't stop him.
I'm looking at his last fights. Like, I remember watching his fights. I've never been a fan of his, just because, like,
I just like how tough he is.
Yeah, he's not great at anything. He's good.
He's a martial artist. He's a mixed martial artist.
He went 5 rounds with Diaz. He went 5 rounds with RDA, 5 rounds with Gunnar Nelson, and 5 rounds with Cowboy. My thing is, we talk about Kamaru Usman. What's his game plan going to be? Different. I think what's going to be different is he's going to implement the same exact game plan that he did to Tyron Woodley against Leon Edwards in his fight. Now, in that fight, he outstruck Tyron Woodley 336 to 60, but most of those strikes were on the ground because he had his ass against the cage because he didn't want to take that power. He didn't want to have a chance to get hit with a knockout shot. He had 17 minutes and 51 seconds of control time on just 2 takedowns.
Damn.
So I remember that fight, and I was
I remember that too. A lot of those.
He went from skinny Kamara to like this dude's on the sauce, whatever. I mean, hey, and he came into that Tyron Woodley fight, and everyone was like, "Yo, Tyron Woodley didn't want it," and he took like Kamaru Usman took Tyron Woodley's soul. Like
he did,
and I just showed why. 336-60 was 17 and a half, almost 18 minutes of control time, and I think that's going to happen in this fight. I think it's going to be the same exact thing, and I don't think there's a damn thing Leon Edwards can do about it because Usman already showed when he grabs a hold of him, he's too weak to get Usman off him.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that's the game plan, and I really don't know what Leon Edwards is going to do about it. Like if he can somehow block the takedowns from Kamaru, because I think Kamaru's Usman's game plan is going to be shoot. So like the only thing is Leon, if Leon can hit him with like a leg kick, like not just a head kick, but like a leg kick to the body or a leg kick to the legs, and memory of that kick to his head into Kamaru, he might stop him and make him change that game plan. That's the only thing I could see happening from Leon Edwards changing it up. But for those of you out there that want to bet, Kamaru Usman round 5 knockout is plus 2,900. Leon Edwards round 5 knockout is plus 4,200. Hey,
it's not bad.
I want to see Kamaru Usman come out here and be very aggressive to pressure him and close the gap. Because I think if Kamaru Usman does what he does in the last couple of fights against like Colby, Jorge, and even Burns. He tried to keep distance. Tried to keep that distance.
Yeah.
That nice boxing combo. Tried to hit that left, right, which he did against Burns and he did against Jorge. But
that straight is nasty.
Leon Edwards got too much of an arsenal where like Burns and Jorge and even Colby are one-dimensional strikers. You're right
about that.
Do like a flip kick can hit you. So I feel like if you close the gap on Usman, on Edwards, Usman, he's just better. He's just better than him. Yeah. But hey, Usman might come out here and, like I said, get kicked in the ribs once and be like, "Oh fuck," and it might change the whole fight. I don't know. So what's your prediction for the fight? What do you think is going to actually happen?
First, let me speak about how Leon has a poster in his training facility of him landing that kick. Yeah. If you're still celebrating that, you're not ready for this fight, in my opinion. So you should have been having pics of you getting your ass whipped 1 through 4, just to remind you, like, yo, I got a shot on him, but he owned me for four rounds. Like I said, I think Kamara should be. I think Kamara's gonna go in there and maul him, just like you're saying. Tyron Woodley game plan is a great way to describe it. Get him up against the cage, hit him with a lot of those body shots. Those body shots he was in Tyron were vicious. They were vicious. The uppercuts, bang.
I remember watching that fight and be like, damn, like someone
he was just a bull.
Can't stop him. He was just a bull. Tyron Woodley, he was at like a 92% takedown as well.
Yeah,
man, like every time Tyron even tried to take him down,
it wasn't happening.
Like, nah.
Yeah, I think, like I said, he has to get him out. He has to put pressure on him early and stay on it. Letting Leon breathe just a little bit is going to give him a little bit too much confidence. Like, okay, watch this. Like, because he only needed that much to breathe in the last fight to land that kick. So if I'm Kamara, I'm not letting you breathe. I'm beating the shit out of you every single round. I don't care in the 5th round. Even if I'm whooping your ass, I'm taking you down and I'm keeping you there. You're not going to be able to beat me. I want to make sure you're not going to be able to beat me. I agree with your game plan, but I think he can get him out of there by the second.
I think if I'm not saying he can't, but I think if Kamaru Usman tries to stand up and knock Leon out standing, I think that's the wrong move. I think he absolutely can. We obviously seen him knock that Jorge. Obviously, Leon's a harder guy to hit until later rounds, because Leon's gas tank kind of fades. So I think if Kamaru can pressure him early and then stand up maybe in like round 4, I think he can knock him out in round 4 or 5.
Leon, I don't think Leon has ever been stopped though. That's weird when you think about it.
He hasn't been stopped, but like if you go back and watch his fights in the Diaz fight, he was pretty gassed in that 5th round.
He was gassed in this fight.
He was gassed in the RDA fight too, and he was gassed in the first fight, the second fight here. But I mean, like as Usman showed, he might have landed a lot more strikes on him, but he didn't land a lot of actual damaging, significant strikes.
Yeah,
because of the way Leon moves. So I mean,
I see over 300 students every day.
I really don't know what Leon Edwards can do to win the fight, except
and I have a great helper who
get lucky again. To be honest, with you.
unless he gets out there and tries to take Kamaru down and is successful, and somehow goes for a submission. I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know this. I'm not sleeping on Leon because last time we slept on Leon. And
so let's make a hypothetical here. Let's say Leon Edwards wins the fight. What happens? What does Usman do?
Colby.
Fight Colby?
Gotta fight Colby. There's no way in hell a new champion doesn't fight Colby.
Yeah, so everybody's bashing Colby because he's not taking the fight. I'm like, you think he's stupid? He's waiting for this. If Edwards wins, he gets.
He's there. I'm pretty sure Colby is there.
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't think he deserves it because he's not active. But is he
not
talented in the division? Yeah, probably. He probably is. So I agree with you. We got Colby going. What do you think happens if Kamaru wins? What happens if Kamaru Usman wins?
35-year-old Kamaru Usman, if he wins his title back, I don't think he has anything left. There was always that big match going up to 185 and fighting Izzy, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't think
he would fight Alex. I don't think he would fight Pereira.
I don't think it's the fight that makes him go. I don't think the fight with Perez will make him be like, ah.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, I honestly think we've talked about this. I think if Kamaru Usman wins, I think he retires because his knees are so fucked up. Everybody's talking about how bad his knees are. And I think if Alex Pereira beats Izzy, I think Alex Pereira either moves up or retires as well. So it's like we could possibly have back-to-back events with no champions after, which would be crazy. And I really think it's a very high possibility of that happening. So I'm curious to see what happens. It's gonna be a very interesting. It's a very interesting fight because also if Kamaru Usman wins, does he fight Hamzat? You know, Hamzat's always there. Can he make weight? Is he gonna get a fight? I don't know if he. Why would you? I wouldn't fight Hamzat. I mean, I'd be like, yo, I'm done. How much you paying me? Like
Hamzat, I'm pretty sure Hamzat should be. He needs to get a little bit active too. I mean, he just
fucked up a month ago. He's fought a month ago. Whooped up Holland. Holland's fighting in.
Oh yeah, but it was an opponent switch though.
Yeah, I think that was on purpose to fuck Dana White. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just like throwing it out there. I don't really know what's gonna happen there. I don't know. I think if Leon fights Colby, I think Colby mops him. I really do. I think I just don't see
that pressure, man. That fucking pressure he brings on people.
Like, I mean, you gotta remember, like Usman has been champion now. Well, he was obviously, but it's hard. We just seen Valentina Shevchenko lose, and people don't remember. Like when you're the champion, you gotta do all this advertisement. You gotta do more media time.
Yeah.
You gotta do a lot more stuff than train, where it's hard. And I think, like you just said about Leon Edwards having that poster up, I think he's starting to realize that, and he's the champion. And in my opinion, from seeing what he's saying, I don't like when I see champions talk like he's talked. They usually lose.
I don't either, man. Mind you, he is a Brit. He's like he has that little cockiness to him, like a Tyson Fury, but he's calm. I think that's just his personality to be calm. The last time we seen Leon Edwards get hyped is when Jorge two-pieced him.
Yeah, I mean,
remember when Jorge hit him with that two-piece in the backstage?
Yeah,
it's the last time we seen him hip side.
I've never been a fan of him. I honestly think if Leon fights, he's either going to fight Colby or he's going to get a rematch against Bilal. I don't know. I don't really want to see Bilal fight, but I think he deserves a fight there.
He deserves a championship. He deserves a championship.
There's a lot of good fights. Like welterweight division's always really good. So it's like there's always going to be a couple guys that are getting screwed over that are getting championships. So that could possibly happen here because, like you said, Colby's probably going to get the title shot if Leon wins.
Then you got Kazma in there.
A couple people are going to get screwed over, but hey, it is what it is. So, what is your prediction for the fight? How's it going to end? Who's going to win?
I think he pressures him for 4 and gets him out of here by 4.
Okay, so you got
Kamaru Usman. I think the stamina is going to kill him. I think he knows every single round he has to have him on the ground. He has to have Leon physically either pinned up against a cage or on the ground. So eventually, I think he's going to catch Leon with something.
Okay, so you got a round 4 knockout by Kamaru Usman. All right, so guys, that's a knockout for Kamaru Usman is plus 310. Round 4 knockout by Kamaru Usman is plus 2600. That's Mr. Soup's pick. Now my pick is I love a knockout, but I think it's going to be a Tyron type of fight, and I'm going to go Usman by unanimous decision at plus 115. I think
with that.
But don't worry, I have a KO plus decision at minus 220. I like that as well. I'm taking both of those. But hey, honestly, like if you're gonna bet Leon Edwards, bet him at KO or decision at plus 210. I think that's the play for the Edwards side because you never know if he's gonna knock him out again at plus 500. Maybe he's not gonna submit him. So it's either going to be a KO or a knockout for Leon. So I like that at plus 210 as a slide pick. I'm not taking it, but if you're a Leon fan and you're like, oh, I'm going to take the money line, just take the knockout decision plus 210. Get a little bit more bang for your buck. That's what I would do. It's basically the same thing as in winning anyway. So I see. We got to talk about the co-main event, though. We got Justin Gaethje, number 3, going up against number 6 ranked Rafael Fiziev. Now, not a lot of times do we see a Justin Gaethje or even a higher ranked opponent as an underdog in this fight, but we see that here. I'm actually very surprised at the line for this fight. I'm not saying I disagree or agree. I'm saying I'm very surprised. We got Rafael Fiziev, minus 245 favorite. Justin Gaethje's plus 186. For the fight to end by knockout, Fiziev plus 140, Gaethje plus 320. We ain't even going to talk about submission. By decision, we got Fiziev plus 240 and Gaethje plus 750. For the fight to go to distance, yes, plus 164, and no, minus 215. For the fight just to end by knockout, either guy, minus 175. And for it to end by decision is 320, minus 320. Sorry, I lied. Minus 120. 3 was a different number. So I don't know if you've seen Fiziev a lot. Have you watched a lot of his fights?
Yeah, he knocked out RDA.
Yeah, so he whooped RDA's ass. Like,
he did whoop RDA's ass.
I've already questioned that fight. RDA is kind of old. He's still good. He's still a great fighter. He's still a tough fight.
A Hall of Famer.
All right, so you're going to go from being an old RDA who's on a losing streak to favored against a guy like Justin Gaethje. I don't know. I mean, it's telling me that Fiziev is really good. It's also telling me that Vegas is saying, yo, please bet Justin Gaethje. Bet him. Because you know all the fanboys, Justin Gaethje, rightfully so. Guy even claims he's the most entertaining fighter, which probably is.
He is.
Yeah, he's pretty damn
even
good.
when he's knocked out, it's very entertaining.
Yeah, so I find it very hard to bet against Justin Gaethje, especially considering the fact that his only losses in the last 6 years are to Khabib, Charles, and Dustin Poirier. You got 2 actual champions who wrestle, and Dustin Poirier, who was interim champion, who doesn't wrestle. So it's like Fiziev isn't a wrestler. So, like, I don't know how this keeps happening, but how the hell does Justin Gaethje continue to get matched up with guys that just want to stand and throw? Like, it's unbelievable. I love it. I love it. Like, his last few fights, who'd he beat? He beat Chandler, he beat Ferguson, and Cowboy. All 3 of them were like, yo, let's throw.
Yeah.
I want to get knocked out. I'm going to knock you out. And, like, Fiziev is like that, too. He's like, yo, I want to finish the fight. Like, it's crazy because you got Justin Gaethje has won 9 straight fight bonuses, whether he won or lost. 9 straight fight bonuses. Fiziev has won 5. So everybody was real hyped about the Michael Chandler Justin Gaethje fight. I'm telling you, this fight is going to be very fucking similar to that fight.
It's going to be a war.
So I got a couple things here that I actually have that I think could be very controlling for the fight. So one thing that we have, Justin Gaethje, his strikes landed per minute, 7.46. Strikes absorbed, 7.86.
Takes what he gets. Takes what he gives.
But the thing is, he lands 31% by kick, which is like you already know. I love Justin Gaethje because he's a guy like if you want to implement a leg kick, bring this guy to your camp.
Justin Gaethje.
This guy's the best leg kicker in the business.
He's
going up
this
against
is
a guy
one of his best arsenals.
He's going up against a guy as well that has 32% leg kicks. In Fiziev,
They're very similar.
Lands 4.81 and he absorbs 4.86. So these are both guys that like to throw and get it. Justin Gaethje got 19 knockouts. That's 83% of his wins are by knockout. And Fiziev has, of his 12 wins, he has 8 knockouts. So I'm telling you guys, like, it's going to be a great fight. Fiziev hasn't really – his last couple fights, he beat RDA, a guy that has takedowns. He fought Riddle, a guy who does takedowns. Yeah. And he knocked both of them out. Now he's fighting Justin Gaethje, a guy that isn't going to try and take you down. So I'm actually curious to see if Fiziev has the ability to live up to that minus 245 line.
Yeah.
And I want to see if his the videos that he's putting out of his striking, I want to see if that translates to Justin Gaethje. Because I'm telling you guys, if it does, Justin Gaethje is going to look like Kamaru Usman. He's going to get a head kick knockout. Like, this guy has some crazy fucking techniques. I don't really know what he specializes in, but he's entertaining. So, are you comfortable betting against Justin Gaethje, or are you taking?
No, I'm not. Absolutely not. I'm not comfortable. Because I know Justin Gaethje is gonna bring war. Like he's gonna press. He's like watching Arturo Gatti. Like Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward were two guys who were gonna press you. And that's what Gaethje reminds me of. He's a warrior. He's a blood. He's one of those guys that doesn't care to bleed. He just wants to fight.
He prefers to bleed.
He prefers it. Like he said, he hit
7.46 striked, landed, and 7.86 absorbed.
So he takes what he gives. This is a brawler. This is a dangerous guy right here. Has gotten him in trouble.
I don't ever remember him getting hit more than he hits. That's the crazy thing. When I looked at
Eddie Alvarez. The Eddie Alvarez fight is the perfect example I can give you. Because Eddie actually boxed really well that fight.
Yeah, Eddie beat him.
He made Justin Gaethje do that. Like flip. Like when he punched him. But I think this fight, Justin Gaethje knows. I'll never get another shot if I lose this guy. So I want to make it. I want to make it hell. So I'm not betting against Justin Gaethje. I think he's going to grind out a decision. I don't think it's going to go. I don't think it's going to be a knockout. He's going to grind out a decision.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at like everyone expects Justin Gaethje to get a knockout, right? But like,
no, he knows his title contentions are going after this.
Yeah, like he didn't knock out Chandler. He didn't knock out Ferguson. No. He didn't knock out Cowboy. But he
did knock out Ferguson. He did knock out Ferguson. He stopped him.
Chandler was the first one to knock him out. Chandler hit him with the up kick. Ferguson didn't knock him out.
Yeah, you're right.
He beat the shit out of him. Yeah. He beat the shit out of him, but he didn't knock him out. Which turned to Ferguson, he's crazy. But I'm saying though, like, so for his odds to win by decision at plus 750, that doesn't make any sense to me because it's like going by what he does and what Fiziev is 12-1. He ain't been knocked out.
Nah.
He was knocked out. His only loss though, Fiziev, but it was go back and watch. It was like a spinning wheel kick. It was fucking crazy. He never been knocked out by a punch ever. He doesn't really take any damage to the face either. Fiziev. He's the guy that takes a lot of damage to the midsection because he's always moving in. So like, guy hit him in the body. But like, I like that bet at Justin Gaethje by decision at plus 750. I want to see. Listen, like, I love Justin Gaethje. Like he even says, he's the most entertaining fighter on the UFC roster. And I find it hard to find anybody that isn't better than him at entertaining. But at decision at plus 750, I love that number.
I'll take it.
I am taking it. I'm taking my guy Fiziev unanimous decision plus 240. I think the end of Justin Gaethje is upon us. I think these like near Russian fighters, they're turning it up. They're turning it up.
We're we could be seeing the last of Justin Gaethje as a contender from here on out. He might get that Tony Ferguson role where he's just gonna be thrown in there for guys like a stepping stone.
I think I've seen in one of his interviews, and he says after he wins this fight, he wants to fight Dustin Poirier again because he lost.
Solid.
Dustin Poirier said it before too. After he lost the title, he says, "I don't really think I'm going to fight for a belt anymore. I just want to entertain."
Yeah, so that'd be a perfect fight for him.
Yeah, I think regardless of if Gaethje wins this fight, he's going to get Dustin Poirier next. I think that's going to happen regardless. Will it be for a title fight? We'll make him in title contention. Maybe if he wins, yeah. If he loses, yeah, because he's Justin Gaethje. You want to see him in the title fight. So I think even if he loses this fight, I think he's still, like you said, I think he's on the end, but he's still going to be there. Because
my God, he's in. Having beaten Justin Poirier is like putting that on your record is huge. So because it shows you can put up with the pressure. So I can't.
Well, I mean, he's probably looking at his guys that beat him. Alvarez is gone. Dustin Poirier doesn't have a fight. Charles is fighting Dariush, and Khabib is gone. So he's probably like, you know what? I'll avenge Dustin at least. Yeah, I like his thinking. He didn't by any means say, "Yo, I'm going to win this fight and then fight it." He just says, going forward, I think that's the fight to make if all things go well. He had all respect. He's like, "Yo, we're going to beat the shit out of each other, and the better man's going to win." And I love that. He always says, it's like, hey, everybody. I think he was the underdog against Chandler as well. I'm not sure. I think Chandler was the favorite. I forget. I think it was a slight favorite for Chandler, and he won. But hey, I'm telling you, like this line, I'm telling you, it's telling everybody, yo, bet Gaethje. And whenever the UFC does that, Vegas does that, like it's usually not a good fight. It's usually ends bad. But like being Justin Gaethje, I can't see I can't picture him being knocked out. I really can't. So and I can't picture Fiziev at plus 1900 getting a submission. He's not that type of fighter either. No. So I personally think it's going to be a fight of the night, possibly fight of the year. I'm staying away from this at all costs because you can't bet against your guy and you can't bet your guy. He's not my favorite guy, but it's like Max Holloway. You don't bet against Max Holloway even if you think he's going to lose. I'm a Volk guy. I never bet Volk over Max. I'm like, Max is too damn good. He can knock him out quick. Same thing can happen here. So you guys got to make sure you're tuned in for this fight. I'm telling you, it's going to be an absolute – it's going to be fireworks. I personally have Fiziev, UD, plus 240. But, hey, we'll see what happens. We got a couple other fights on here, Paul. I know you're probably entertained with Gunnar Nelson versus Brian.
I love Gunnar Nelson. I think these two are made for each other, too. Him and Brian Barberena.
That guy is, as you would like to call him, a gatekeeper. He really is, though, in terms of what it actually means, not what the meme means. But Brian Barberena's a guy, he's always a dog, and I ain't comfortable betting against him either. That dude's just he's the same kind of guy as Justin Gaethje. He just wants to brawl. But Gunnar Nelson is
great.
Gunnar Nelson is a beast. We don't really need to talk about this fight a lot because I think this fight was just put on here for pure entertainment. I don't think it has anything to do with title contention. Maybe, I don't know.
No, not that division.
Yeah, so we're in there in the welterweight division. We got Gunnar Nelson is minus 430, and Barberena is plus 320.
Listen, his name's Gunnar, and he's from Iceland.
Yeah, I think this might be the only finish of the entire main card. I'm not saying it's going to be, just by base. I'm very confident to say that Gunnar Nelson is going to submit Brian Barberena. Brian Barberena cannot wrestle. When he gets on the ground, he whoops his ass. And what does Gunnar Nelson do? He submits people. I forgot I wrote it down somewhere. He has 19 submission wins or something, some shit like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, I'm gonna bet Gunnar Nelson by submission there. But hey, entertainment fight. We got another fight on here that I need to talk about because I want to hear your opinion. We got the first fight of the actual fight card. We got Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. We got Vettori is minus 295 favorite. Dolidze is plus 3. Marvin's ranked number 4. He's fought a couple title fights, a couple guys that have been there. Dolidze is a guy who is from Georgia. We just saw me rap. And he kind of fights the same fucking way.
11-1, man. He beat Jack Hammerson too. So I mean, it's not a
I want
bad
to talk
fighter
about that a
himself.
little bit though. This is another fight that I'm a Dolidze guy. I don't really like Marvin Vettori. I feel like he's one of them guys that is
Overhyped.
very overhyped. I feel like he's in the wrong division. I think he should go up a division.
Bigger.
Yeah, I think he should be up. He showed he could make that in that Paulo Costa debacle he made, and he looked great in that weight. He looked great. He's a guy that wants to pressure you. He wants to push you against the cage. Whereas, like, these middleweights, like, a lot of them move too good. And I feel like he starts fighting, like, the top tier of guys. That style that he does doesn't really work. I'm not taking nothing away from him because he's really fucking good at pushing you against the cage and pressuring you. And he has cardio out the fucking ass. Like, this dude's cardio is phenomenal. But we got a guy, Roman Dolidze, man. This guy is a jiu-jitsu master. Like, he's a beast. His takedowns are phenomenal. He's phenomenal at submissions. But the only thing I want to bring up is that I want to bring up that Jack Hermanson fight. Marvin Vettori is a guy that takes you down. Roman Dolidze won the Jack Hermanson fight by knockout. But in that fight, the control time for that fight, Jack Hermanson had control of that fight was what? Do you have it up on your phone?
No, I'm literally just watching.
The control time for that fight was over 5 minutes, and he knocked him out in the second round.
Whoa.
So
he basically had him down for a round.
Basically had him down the whole round. Dolidze had a sprawl. He got up. He knocked him out. And I'm only bringing that up because Marvin Vettori has a unanimous decision win against Jack Hermanson. And he's a wrestler. He out-wrestled the guy that out-wrestled Dolidze. So I like to see fighters grow from what they did and learn. So I'm curious to see if Dolidze learns and he gets better at, like, not allow, like, he wants to fight you on the ground.
Yeah.
He's just not that great on his back yet. He's very good at top position. He's very good at doing transitions, but he gets gassed out very easily. So in this fight, it's like whichever guy gets the style going first for him, whichever guy actually gets the takedowns first, I think wins the fight. What is your projection for this fight?
Huh?
What is your projection for this fight?
That's why I'm quiet because I don't know. I'm thinking like, you think it's gonna be a finish, right?
I don't know because Dolidze's type of guy where it's like he can knock you out or he can grind you out, and I feel like Vettori is like he's big enough to knock you out. He's good enough to submit you, but he grinds it out as well. So the odds for KO: Marvin Vettori 750, Dolidze 600. Submission plus 650 for Vettori, plus 750 for Dolidze. By decision, minus 125 for Vettori, and plus 850 for Dolidze. So
this is actually interesting. Now she threw the numbers at me, and how we talked about the last fight.
You remember a couple fight cards ago where we did it, and I was like, "Yo, none of these like odds make any sense. I don't know what to make of them." That's this fight card. I don't know what to make of. Like how are you, like plus 600, plus 750, plus 850, but you're plus 220.
Yeah.
Like, should one of them be like plus 200, 250 then? Not like 800? Like it doesn't. And then you got Vettori 750, 650, and minus 125. It's like if he's going to be, if like the odds for them to finish the fights the way they're going to finish the fight are as high as they are, the fight should be a lot closer. That's what I'm saying. So it's like I don't know what to make of this. I'm leaning towards a Dolidze decision at plus 850, just because I like a 3-round fight opener. But the thing is, it's an opening fight. If you look at the last 3 pay-per-views, the opening fight was a finish.
It was a finish, yeah.
So that's why I'm like, man, I don't know. Like this is that's what makes this even more interesting where it's slotted at. So I don't know. I think we've yet to see Vettori get caught and have a bad chin. So I don't know about the knockout. Like I said, like it's going to be a ground fight. So why not take one of them to win by submission at plus 650 or 750?
I think I'm gonna run with the submission.
Who are you taking though? Which guy?
Vettori. I don't know why. Someone's telling me, go for Vettori.
Okay. I think it could happen. Like I said, he's very good. He has 9 submissions, 11 first-round finishes, so it could happen. But I don't know what to make of that fight. This fight card's a rough one.
Tough. It is definitely tough.
I'm going to say this. I have my numbers. So far for the year, I'm 63, 19, and 1 overall on the money line. That's 77%, considering the fact that last fight card was bad. That was my worst one of the year. So I don't know for this fight card though either. I don't like it at all. So far, I got Roman Dolidze winning. I took him by decision.
I can't disagree with that.
I took him by decision, but when I look at the other fight cards, the first fight's always a finish. I ain't comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So like I look at it, I feel like Vettori has a better chance to submit Dolidze. So it's like, all right. So I might switch it up to do a Vettori submission at plus 650. That's what I think I'm going to go with. I'm going to switch it to that. We had another UK person I want to talk about real quick. We got the main event of the prelims. We got the number 15th ranked Jack Shore in the featherweight division fighting Makwan Amirkhani. Listen, Jack Shore lost his last fight, and now he's the minus 490 favorite. Like, if you guys want to bet a fight, I'm telling you, like,
It's this
knockout win by Jack Shore. It's in the UK. They want to start going into the main event by a flash. So I think Jack Shore is getting a very good draw here because it's at the UK, and they need somebody in the top 15 that can actually make a show, finish the prelims. So I think Jack Shore here, guys. I think he's an up-and-comer guy. The only guy I lost to is none other than he just won last fight card. I forget. I don't remember his name. The Brazilian guy beat him. But yeah, Jack Shore's a guy to look out for on here. Really good. Other than that, there's really no other fights I really like that people need to worry about except the early prelims. Another UK guy. We got Leron Murphy.
Who actually beat his opponent. Who beat Jack Shore's opponent.
It beat which is like I don't know, like I guess they want the white UK guy instead. I don't know. It makes sense, I guess.
Leron, I like the name.
Leron Murphy, 11-1. They don't even have odds for him. Can't bet him right now. I'm gonna whip the guy's ass, but I highly skeptical that because he's fighting a guy named Gabriel Santos from Brazil. I think that's going to be an entertaining fight. Like, anyone with the name Gabriel Santos from Brazil, I'm willing to bet they're going to scrap. So I think that's going to be a great fight. But Leron Murphy is
Murphy, my man, Leron Murphy.
The guy to look out for. I actually like him a lot. I follow him on Instagram sometimes. I see him.
I like that.
But another UK guy that I don't like, he's a minus 380 favorite. I hope he gets knocked out. He's not going to. Is Jack Hadley. I hate the motherfucker.
He ain't knocked out.
He was talking all this shit to Mokaev, and then Mokaev shows up and he ain't say nothing. It's like, all right, what's up? I think they're going to fight each other next fight after they both win. But he's another guy to look out for. And then, yeah, we got that. We got the main event. We didn't talk about the women's fight. Jennifer Maia, Casey O'Neill. That's going to be a good fight between two women.
Jennifer Maia is always entertaining.
She has like 38 fights or something.
Like, she's a vet. I love it. It's
and Casey O'Neill, I believe, is 9-0 as well. She's 9-0. You never know. We seen that like 9-0. You're only minus 175 going up against Jennifer Maia, who's been there, done that. Might be a sleeper upset for you guys to pick. I'm not picking it, but hey, why not? Could happen. But other than that, you got anything else you want to talk about for the fight card?
I'm good. I'm good right now. I'm good.
Yeah, so hopefully
I'm kind of excited. So 5 o'clock's a good start. So I like it.
Yeah. So guys, be sure to tune in Saturday. The fight card starts at what time does the actual fight card start? 3 p.m. Right? 3 p.m. No, 1 p.m. Fight card starts at 1 p.m. We get to see my man Leron Murphy fight. And then the main event card starts at 5. That would make the main event at roughly 7:30, give or take. So tune in about 6:45 for the main event.
Shout out to
You
my
gotta
man
watch
Lee
the
Ron.
Gaethje fight. So turn it on at about 6:30. Go watch the Gaethje
Yeah,
fight.
probably
You gotta watch
6:30
that.
be your best bet.
Yeah,
Shout out to my man Lee Ron.
I think the last 3 fights are going to be very entertaining, but definitely the last 2 fights are unbelievable, phenomenal. The rest are kind of
Possibly.
I don't really care about them. But yeah, I honestly hope it's an entertaining fight card. I'm gonna be watching it. So yeah, that's it. Anything else, brother?
Nothing. We good to go. St. Patty's Day, March Madness. Shout out to all the those brackets that are booking right
Yo,
now. Fucking
speaking of,
Arizona.
it wasn't even
Fucking
8 games.
Arizona.
So I saw a stat. It was 8 games in, and 0.12% of brackets were perfect. There was
Yeah.
21 million brackets on that's just on ESPN and I think CBS. And that means it was less than 200,000 of those 20 million were perfect. So
That's
I mean, hey,
that's what 5%,
ever
1%.
if anyone's listening on here and you're one of those 200,000 people that has that perfect bracket, please give us a call because you are the luckiest bettor and picker ever. Because I know you don't know shit about basketball. You're just lucky because ain't nobody was taking Princeton and hey, maybe they were because Arizona and Virginia are 2 teams that love to choke. But I find it highly unlikely that someone was taking Princeton and Furman.
Got a point there.
I would like to see them. I'm gonna bet most of those brackets probably had one of the other 1s or 2s losing. So hey, but as of now, they know what they're doing. So tune in, but enjoy the fights. And as always, Paul, it's always good to break down the fights with you. We got Usman, Gaethje, Fiziev. I don't even have to mention Leon. I don't like you, but yeah. Anything else, brother?
That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the picks. Going for money. Peace out, y'all.
Say less. See you.